Hi, this is John Sowash, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips for presenting live through Hangouts Meet to your students. Now, I'm recording this video during the great coronavirus school shutdown, and a lot of teachers are looking for ways to present and teach their students even though they won't be in a traditional physical classroom. Google Hangouts, Google Classroom, Google Drive, wonderful tools, wonderful products to help you connect with your students from a remote perspective. Now in this video we're going to be looking at some of the advanced features of Hangouts Meet. If you're not familiar with Meet, I'd recommend that you check out my introduction to Meet, which will kind of walk you through the process of creating and setting up a meeting. Now let me give you a scenario here. So let's pretend that I'm going to be presenting, be sharing with my students. I'm going to be teaching a lesson. Now I will mention that I am personally not a big fan of synchronous online instruction. In other words, I'm not a huge fan of mandatory live sessions that students have to join. I don't mind presenting live. It's a great way for students to connect with you and to feel a little more familiar with the format, but I don't require them to attend. Those who can are welcome to join me. If they cannot, they'll be able to watch the recording of the session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a meeting, posting it to Google Classroom, and then setting it up to present a lesson like a PowerPoint or a Google slide presentation to your students. Let's jump into Google Classroom to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is create a new assignment in Google Classroom. Now I'm going to create an assignment because while students don't have to join the live session, they are responsible for either watching the recording or joining live. So I am going to be grading this. There is a participation expectation. So that's why I'm creating an assignment. If you're not going to grade it, then you could use the material option. Let's go ahead and click assignment. I'm going to say, chapter 6 class presentation. Okay, call it whatever you want. Fill out the rest. Make this worth 10 points. Participation. I'm going to give this a due date, so this must be done by the end of the week on the 27th at 6 p.m. Okay, so I'm going to leave that open. And I'm going to go to Hangouts Meet. So meet.google.com. I'm going to click Join, Start a Meeting. I'm going to say Chapter 6 Session. Call it whatever you want. I'm going to act like I'm starting the meeting, but really all I'm trying to do is get the link to the meeting URL. Okay, so I'm going to copy that meeting link, and then I'm going to just close that. We don't need that right now. So I copied the link to the meeting, which will happen in the future. I'm going to go back to Google Classroom, and I'm going to add the link to the assignment. So I'm going to click the Add button, and I'm going to say this is a link. Paste that link in there. So now the link to that live session, which will be, I'll have to, in the description, in the instruction, you'll be like Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'll be on live teaching this lesson. You can watch live or you can watch a recording. So you would specify when you're actually going live. Students could click that and join you. So I'm going to go ahead and say assign. We'll make this due on week 2. I'm going to say assign. And you can do this as far in advance as you want. You can post that. Obviously, students can click on the link. No one will be there until the specified time. But here we go, Chapter 6 class presentation. I'm going to click the link. You're going to join the meeting just like students. We're going to go in. I'm going to click Join Now, and we're almost ready to present. Now, normally you would click the Present button, and that would allow you to share your screen with your students. And typically you would do entire screen, and basically whatever shows up on your screen gets presented to your students. I'm going to show you an advanced presentation tip that will help you organize your assignments, give better presentation, and also avoid any potentially embarrassing mistakes where you show something you don't want everybody to see on your screen. It's happened to me before. Try to avoid it. So I'm going to actually pause. Now I would do this before I started the meeting, okay? So before I start the meeting, I would begin organizing my resources. So this is the presentation that I'm going to be showing to my students. And I'm gonna tear this tab off, okay? So it's in a tab right now. I'm gonna grab that tab and I'm gonna pull it down so that it's in its own separate window. And you're going to go ahead and open up whatever other resources you want to show to your students. So maybe you're going to show them a blog. Maybe there's a great resource on Newsela that you want to show them. So we'll open up whatever the resources, as many tabs as you want. You're going to kind of prep all of that stuff. You're going to open up all those windows and have them in a separate window. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. Now my Hangout is still in this other window over here. So there it is. And when you present, you have the option to present your entire screen, which we just talked about, or a specific window. I'm going to click that window option, and it's going to show me all the available windows that are open on my computer right now, and I can pick the selection that I want to present. So we're going to do the one with Newsela on it. And so anything from that selection of tabs will be presented and shown to the students. And I can click, the blog that I pulled up. I can pick the presentation. I can go into present mode and go through that presentation with the students if I want. But only those tabs are going to be displayed. That prevents the embarrassing potential of accidentally clicking your email and them seeing emails that may be personal or private, your calendar, maybe your grade book is open. You don't want to accidentally display that to the entire class. This also allows you to jump back into the Hangout and monitor the chat if there are any questions without leaving your presentation. So again, I am presenting the presentation window right now, and that's what students would be seeing, even though I am looking at the chat. You can have your notes here to refer back to. It just really allows you a little more control over what they see versus what is up on your screen. When you're done recording, you can click the Stop Presenting button. Your face will appear. You can answer questions and go back and continue. Hopefully this has been a helpful little tip allowing you to present to your students remotely, even if you can't be with them in the classroom.